Hey guys, what's up? It's the Alien Apocalypse, and I'm here with vlog number 5. So today's vlog is again another one of those structured vlogs. So it's gonna be like vlog number 2. We have a topic and we're gonna talk about it a little bit. So let's get straight into it. My topic today is it's kind of like a story time type video actually. The story, I guess you would say, for today is how I met Badgeraj. Because you all know Badgeraj. I record with him all the time. We're both the co-owners of Chisel SMP. Well, I'm real good friends with him. I'm actually going to his house this Saturday because my parents are going away to New York City. So I'm going to go to his house and we're going to record some Chisel SMP there, so get excited for that. But anyway, I've known Badgeraj for like 2.5 years, I think it's been. It's been about that long. So 2.5 years ago, I was at a summer camp called the Marcus Lewis Day Camp. Alright, and it was a pretty cool camp. I hadn't been there before. It was my first year there and my last year because it was like I was at the top of the age limit. You know, when you're like older than all the other kids and you're like, wow, I really shouldn't be here. That was me. So I'm there and I had seen the commercials for this camp, alright? I was not excited to go. I had seen the commercials where the kids are just singing the name over and over again. Alright, it's not a good commercial. It's not a very old kid commercial. I'm what? 13 probably? 13 sounds about right. 2.5 years ago. I'm 15 now, so I don't know. Turning 13 probably? I had just turned 13, let's say. And I'm like, well, I just hear a bunch of 5 to 6 year olds singing Marcus Lewis Day Camp. But eventually I went because it was this like teen exploration thing, so it sounded pretty cool, so I figured why not give it a try. The camp overall was actually pretty fun. We met a bunch of people. We kind of had like a group of friends that we hung out with every day. There was kayaking and stuff, but I'll get into that later in the video. So it all started in the first day when we would go and sign up for all our activities. It was kind of like first come, first serve. So you just ran and chose your activity. There were multiple activities and they were all pretty cool, but the one I was excited for was kayaking. So what it was is there was kayaking and there were a couple canoes. So you would go out onto this pond that had like turtles and stuff, and it was really cool, and you just kind of kayak around for like an hour or two. We're getting ready to go, and they said anyone doing kayaking, any like teens doing kayaking, wait over here by these like bench things. They're made of stone. They were pretty cool. So I'm over by the bench, and I'm just kind of waiting there. I'm like, alright, well, I hope I know somebody, because I haven't seen anybody I know here. Not once. I don't know anybody here, so I'm like, oh, this might be a little scary. And then I see this kid. Alright, let me tell you about this kid. So there's probably like a ring, okay, of these benches. There's like a ring of the benches, and I'm kind of on the outskirts of the benches. There's one other kid there, and he's standing kind of in the middle of the benches, just like hanging out, and he's got this look on his face. This look, like, I swear to God, if anybody approaches me, I'm gonna punch him in the face. It was just this scowl. I don't know how to describe it, but this kid had this like weird scowl on his face. It wasn't like he was mad, but it was just kind of like he seemed agitated or he didn't want to talk to people. So for about 5 minutes, as we're waiting for the instructor or the kayak people to get the kayaks all ready, I'm thinking, do I approach this kid? Do I go near him and risk, you know, being just shot down and being like, get away from me? You know, I'm not in a good mood or something, so I'm debating it, and I'm like, do I want to go over there and say hello to this kid? Eventually, I do work up the courage to go over to the scowling kid, and little did you know, it was AJ. But yeah, so AJ was that kid. He was the scowling kid who I wasn't really sure if I wanted to go up and talk to, and I went up and talked to him. I was like, hey man, you doing kayaking too? And then we just started talking from there, and then for the rest of the week we just kayaked almost the whole time. We did all kinds of stuff. We gathered like a little group of people we got to know, and we would go kayaking, and we would try to catch turtles with the little fishing nets we'd bring. And we got real close to some of those turtles, but let me tell you, turtles are fast. And so it was really fun. We'd have like races and stuff, and we couldn't catch any turtles. We never ended up catching a single turtle after like, I think it was 5 or 7 days of like 3 hours in the water each. We never caught a single turtle. But we did find a water snake at one point. Alright, this water snake is like huge. It's like, I can't fit on a camera. It's like this big. You can't see my left hand because it's all the way over there. But it's this giant water snake, like that big around. It was like the biggest snake I've ever seen, and we just like kayaked the heck out of there. And it was really creepy, because as we're trying to kayak away from this thing, it's swimming like under our kayaks. And it was like this big, probably 3 to 4 foot long snake thing. What was also really creepy is there were some big spiders, some really big spiders in the water, like this big. You know, like, some of them had, like, you know, little stick legs where they're not really that scary, but the other ones, they were pretty big. Alright, these are like legitimate spiders. They're terrifying. But we kayaked the whole time. It was so much fun. I would totally go back. I don't know if they even still have it. And it was fun. There was only one problem with the program, alright? Let me tell you about this problem. This is a teen exploration camp type thing. So for teens. So it's like 13, I don't know how it goes, 17, 18, I don't really know. But they have all these activities planned. They have things like archery and dodgeball and baseball and like Hunger Games thing that was set up. It was cool. And they had the kayaking, obviously. But the very last day it was raining. So they take us indoors and they have us do some crafts. These crafts are not meant for teenagers, let me tell you. We are literally taking Fruit Loops and putting them on string and making Fruit Loop necklaces. Teenagers don't want to make Fruit Loop necklaces, alright? Other than that, it was a really fun camp. That was pretty bad, but it was pretty fun, other than the Fruit Loops. So that's my story on how I met Badgeraj. I've told him this story before. I don't know if I've quite gone in this much detail, but he kind of knows, you know, he was at the camp and stuff. But I would love to hear his aspect in the story. You know, when he was in the middle of those, what do you call it, benches? I would love to hear what he thought. Like, what he was thinking, what was going through his mind. I would love to hear that. I gotta ask him on, like, Saturday or something and find out, because that would really be cool. But that's how I met Badgeraj. I hope you guys enjoyed. Kind of a little silly story about this scowling kid who went up and bam, it's AJ. But I hope you guys enjoyed. So go below and do things that you want to do. And some scribble and stuff like that. And yeah, so this is the Alien Apocalypse, who just recorded his 5th vlog, saying goodbye.